Had a diamond on the flop to draw to.
Scott with full just calling, and now the construction man, Jeff, with a piece of it. And he's going to stick around with the call.
This is backs him off, body shot, belly button through the back, slip and shot, down again. Body of Jonathan Haggerty.
Comes the turn call. It's a 7 of clubs, so now there's 4 clubs out there for construction man.
Look at him, just angry.
That is bad news for Jeff. He's got too much hand to go away now. As we know, he is essentially drawing dead. A 10 would deliver a chop any other card if he loses.
There's the bet by Scott with his 4s full. He's betting a hefty 1.35.
Scott, looking at one of his opponents, has a 10.
Got to give himself a chance to recover. But he's doing a Beyonce. He's going to the left, He's going to go to the right,
He's doing a good job of slowing down. Yep,
he says this is for a time. Come on.
He's got a 4 flush. A little piece of it.
Counter.
Look at the inside.
Chick is up.
Come on.
Faraz is just a spectator now. I know he still has cards, but he's not putting more money in this pot.
This is a big moment for the non-pro. Clock is ticking down again. Can he get away from this at this point? Oh, hey, what's more time again?
Another concern I have about using 2 time bank chips here as Jeff is that you now eliminate the possibility of holding a 10.
Okay.
Because your opponents know you're going to make your decision faster than this if you have a 10.
Oh boy, he's making this call. Heavily invested. Jeff Fielder. Now the thing you don't want to do is hit the flush to keep you around.
The irony is both these guys are rooting for a club, and there it is.
Oh boy. Oh boy, Jeff has hit his flush now. 4s filled for Scott.
If we could peek behind Scott's sweater there, you'd see an ear-to-ear smile.
Oh
yeah. Scott, also using a time bank chip.
Throw him off the tracks.
Yeah.
All in.
And there's the all-in. And the construction man has fallen off the scaffold. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
So Jeff Fielder out in 6th place, the first person to get thrown into the swamp here at the Seminole Hard Rock. He will take home $144,000.
Great run from Jeff Fielder tonight, making his first final table, but he's going to have to come back once more if he wants to get a WPT title.
And out front, we basically have a tie for first place. Scott Majerison with 12.35 and Joey Cowden with 12.3.
Brian Hastings solidly in 3rd, Faraz 4th, Matt Stout still our short stack with about 25 blinds.
And the action going on. Joey folding. Scott Majerison, the other co-leader, also going away. And now Matt Stout, uneventful Queen 6. He won't do it. And Brian Hastings finally getting a real hand, pair of jacks.
Brian gonna raise here into Faraz's big blind. Faraz with a pair of 7s. Is gonna get involved.
Doesn't re-raise, just calls it. So jacks versus 7s, 2 great talents battling. And the flop's at 8-4 deuce.
Good flop for both players' hands. Better, of course, for Brian, as he now has Faraz in bad shape, but likely to continue putting money in.
Yes, betting 325. And he quickly gets the call and the action from Faraz. See if things change for Faraz here. No, it goes the other way. Another jack for Hastings. Not that he needed it.
And that jack does add some draws to the board, such as Queen 10, 9-10. Brian just gonna bet out here for 800,000. This is tough for Faraz. I really don't know what he's gonna do here. Very nice. Wow. Nice fold from Faraz. Gets away, losing the minimum there. There's Brian's fiancée Sonia in the audience cheering him on. We see her all the time on the tournament circuit.
Yeah, sometimes the player gets stubborn with a hand like 7s and just doesn't believe a guy like Hastings who could be playing anything.
Sure, there's a lot of draws he could have had there. Many players call that turn bet, but Faraz, sensing something was wrong, gets away.
Yep. Scott with Ace-9 has raised, but Matt Stout with Ace-King behind him. He's on the short stack, of course.
All in.
And he's going to shove it all. Hastings goes out. Faraz as well, and Scott doesn't even think about it. Gives it up to Matt.
Yeah, Scott's heard that song before. He knows Ace-9 is not a hand you call the 25 big blind shove with. As we take a look at the WPT Champions Cup. Action with Matt Stout.
Yep, well, and he's starting to get some hands going here. Little rush, he's got a pair of 10s this time. And he'll put in the raise. 2:25 to go. Brian out and Faraz Jaka. Oh, wow, he even gets the better pair of queens.
Oh no. This is a disaster for Matt. His opponent's going to re-raise him on the button. Matt and Faraz started this hand with the same amount of chips, so I would be stunned if he does not move in pre-flop over this 3-bet.
Oh, wow, Joey and Scott go away. Back on Matt Stout.
Even worse for Matt, one of his 10s was folded pre-flop, and Faraz has both his suits covered.
He's got about 2.3 roughly left.
All in.
Oh, he's gonna push it. And obviously Faraz has to call this, insta-call. They turn him up, and Matt just getting the wrong hand at the wrong time.
Exactly. The right play from Matt, but the wrong time, unfortunately. Faraz here in great shape to knock out Matt Stout.
Matt Stout, 33 years old, living in Vegas. Third WPT final table, never won one. The man with the great laugh and voice needs to get lucky, and not there as a queen hits on the flop. Given 3 of a kind for Faraz.
Now, Matt doesn't know it, but this tournament is over. He is drawing dead.
And it's just another queen, that's
Okay,
all.
that's just a little bit of overkill. Matt says, these are yours now, Faraz. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Now, always happy to see Matt Stout do well on the World Poker Tour, but he's going to have to wait a little longer for his first WPT title.
The man with the great laugh is not laughing now. He'll take home $189,000. Another one goes into the Everglades. Let's talk to Matt Stout.
I try to focus on playing my best and letting the cards fall as they may. It's the only real thing you can do to not let luck and coolers really dictate your emotion too much in this game.
Play online poker for real cash. I risk elimination.
2.6.
Scott, of course, says, yeah, I know what you're thinking, and now it's 2.6 million to go, Brian. He's chose a great hand to do it with. King 7 suited has a blocker to strong hands, but isn't good enough to call.
Yeah, just a great read by Scott. Right back over the top.
Scott, one of the best players in modern online poker, showing that he's got what it takes to win in the live arena as well. He's made 2 final tables at the World Series before, but this is his first WPT final table.
All right, 4-handed poker. Blinds of 61-20. Action on Scott. He's in second chip position. He's going to fold, and now Brian with an ace-queen. It's a lot better than the 9-6. And he will raise it to 280.
Joey here has an 8-7 suited in the big blind. Some players like to move all in when they're around 20 blinds with these suited connectors, as they do fare well when they see 5 cards. Calling, of course, also a very strong choice. Joey wants to see a flop.
Oh, and the flop is beautiful for Joey. Jack 8-7, 2-pair.
Great flop for Joey, but also so coordinated that Brian likely to check back here and not put a lot of money in without improving. Oh, that's a way to improve.
Ace for Brian. He probably thinks he's in front now, and Joe's going to check into him.
You see, Joey knows that that is a card that he should be checking a very high percentage of the time, so he does it with his strong hands and his weak hands.
Hastings going to bite 375. Joey would like to get some revenge off of Brian.
All in.
He's going to push it right now, all in.
Joey is too short for any other option here, so he rips it in, tries to get value and protect his 2-pair at the same time, and he's pleased that Brian did not instant call him. He knows that he has the best hand now. Brian with a very tough decision holding top pair in the queen kicker.
The clock is ticking down, and he wants more time.
Brian considering whether he can have the best hand here often enough to make this call, getting about 2-1 on his money.
It's $2 million total.
He knows that he's in the lead some of the time, but that other times he can be drawing dead against a flush, and he does call.
Yeah, he's going to make the call. He's behind, but has a lot of outs.
Spades, two pair. Brian has ace queen, ace of clubs, queen of spades.
One bad card for Joe. He'll be gone.
Brian looking for an ace, jack, or queen. Otherwise, Joey Cowden will double up and get back in the mix.
Can Joe stick around? Yes, a deuce of diamonds on the river, so Joey will double up.
Okay, so Joey Cowden gaining a little momentum here.
Faraz Jaka, very talented pro, this time with queen 7 of clubs, and he will move it to 350 to go. Joe Poker goes out, and now Scott with a decent ace jack.
Scott has mixed up his approach in these situations between calling and 3-betting, but so long as he's the chip leader, it looks like he's going to lean towards the more aggressive option as he makes it 1.2 million.
Brian Hastings has to go out, and Faraz believes him as well. So the chip leader going to take that one.
Scott, one of the best players in the modern online tournament scene, which has become incredibly competitive over the years. Now showing that his abilities translate to the live felt.
Onward we go, and Brian with king 10 of hearts has raised to 350. A couple folds around to Scott with a 9-6 of hearts. He will play. And we will look at a flop. Wow, the flop is a 9-6 deuce, just absolutely perfect for Scott, hitting top 2 pair. Oh, that's a beautiful thing to have happen.
Well, Brian does have a little piece here with 2 overcards, a backdoor straight, a backdoor flush draw, but Scott's got a hand that is likely to check raise on a texture where he's probably going to be check raising more draws than strong hands, as he's not getting to this flop with a lot of 9 deuce and 6 deuce combinations.
Scott hitting the top 2 pair with a junk hand, and he is going to re-raise right now. Not going to play slow.
And I like that Scott has gone with the check raise here. That will help balance with the times he check raises as a bluff. Here, he's got the top 2 pair, and Brian goes away.
And the rich get richer. And Scott is originally from England, and he says he's played more hands than the final table, all of them put together. How about that?
A bold claim that I don't quite believe, considering Faraz and Brian were both very active in the heyday of online poker.
A lot of hands, though. He's only 25 years old. And now he looks down at an ace-7 of diamonds with the button. And he has raised it to 300. Brian out. And Faraz Jaka with a real hand this time. Pair of jacks. And he's going to re-raise to $1 million.
Well, Scott with a suited ace in position and plenty of chips is going to make this call.
This could be a big pot. Pair of jacks. Let's see what happens. Another jack on the flop. Jack 7-3. 3 of a kind for Faraz.
And a dangerous flop for Scott, as he has second pair and the backdoor nut flush draw on a texture where he knows his opponent is going to follow through with a continuation bet at a very high frequency.
That is so true. And Faraz will do that. He bets 850, but with a huge hand, as we know. And Scott with second pair will make this call. We go in deeper. Turn card is a king of diamonds. Wow, now it gives a 4 flush to Scott on top of his 7s. But he's well behind with the 3 of a kind by Faraz.
Faraz not slowing down. Gonna cut out a bet of...
Oh, it's all going in. The plaques, the chips. It's 1.6.
Scott's getting about 3.5 to 1 to make this call. I expect Scott to see a river. Not only does he have a draw to the nuts, but every now and then he has the best hand against something like ace-queen or ace-10 that's double-barreling.
Tough to get away from this. You want to see if a diamond appears. So he is making this call. We are going to the river. Can the chip leader hit his diamond and crush Faraz? No, it's another king, so just jacks full for Faraz.
All in.
And he's going to go all in. Scott is just saying, I didn't get there. I got my measly sevens, but is it possible this guy could be bluffing all the way like this? Should I put the extra money in?
Yeah, and there's not that many hands that Faraz is going to run this triple barrel bluff with. And some of the combinations he's likely to do it with are stuff like ace 10, ace queen of diamonds, ace 5 of diamonds. So with Scott holding the ace of diamonds, he actually blocks a lot of the potential bluffs that Faraz could have.
But he's going to take extra time. He might just want to make the hero call here. We've seen that before.
So Scott goes away.
Finally does the right thing, and Faraz Jaka picking up a big one against the chip leader.
Can't say I was rooting for you.
And now Joey looks down at a wonderful pair of queens.
Well, Joey has been so patient tonight. He was down to $2 million at one stage after losing set under set against Brian Hastings, but built it all the way back up to the chip lead. And now with queens, raises into the big blind of Faraz Jaka, who, oh no, has pocket kings.
Unbelievable. What a time to get him. Faraz peeking down at the kings. The Cowboys at the right moment.
Impending disaster for Joey Cowden. The deck has coolered him yet again, Faraz Jaka, making it $1.5 million.
That's incredible. Joe Poker is going to be sick if it doesn't work out here, and he's far behind. And he's thinking about those words, I guess.
All in.
That's what they are. All in.
Ugh. And Jaka, with the very nonchalant instant call as he tables his kings. Joey slams over his queens in frustration.
Yeah, he's just shaking his head, getting up. Can't believe this is happening to him. Very tough to have in a four-handed poker game, those two quality hands, and to be on the wrong side of it really hurts. Wow.
Now, we're about to ruin his dad's birthday here if he can't find a queen.
Let's see what happens on the flop. No, it's at 7-6-4. Does not help Joe Poker.
Couple of spades there will give Joey a glimmer of hope.
That's true. To the turn, not a queen, it's an ace.
Where is she at?
She's down to 2 queens for outs. That's it. Otherwise, he'll be our 4th place finisher here tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Where are all them royal girls at?
Going to the river. Can he get lucky? No, it's a 3 of diamonds.
Well, we are going to lose Joey Cowden in 4th place. Played an excellent final table, and at one stage held the chip lead, but this cooler set him back.
So Joe Poker out in 4th place. We'll take home $251,000, and we are down to 3 players. And now Scott with a king 8 of clubs is going to make it $500,000 to go. Brian this time with an attractive ace jack.
Brian gonna 3-bet here, makes it 1.8 million. And Scott has one of those hands on the button
Is that 2 stacks of blues at the back, or just one?
Yeah, two stacks. Yeah.
that could go any of the 3 ways. He could fold, he could call, he could 4-bet. And this time he elects to call.
Okay, here we go. It's a big jack, 9, 3, 2 clubs. Everything gets there. Brian Hastings with top pair, big kicker, but Scott with the 4 flush.
And Brian checking over to Scott. Makes me think that he intends to check raise him here on this flop.
Scott's going to come out with the bet with his potential monster.
And I wonder, is Brian going to check raise small, check raise big, move all in? What's the play?
3.8.
He's going with a big check raise that is not quite all in. Makes it 3.8 million.
Now he's going to put the pressure back on Scott.
All in.
And that's what you have to do at this point.
And call.
The cards play themselves on this one, and they turn them up. And Brian Hastings, a slight favorite against Scott, but if it doesn't work out for Brian, he'd be gone.
Brian was once a commanding chip leader of this final table, entered the final table with the chip lead, now at risk of going out third if Scott finds a club or a king.
Here we go. It's not a club, it's a 3. So Brian Hastings dodging one card. He'll become a big chip leader if he should dodge a king or a club on the river.
Let's see if he can get it, Vince.
Here we go.
Oh, no! The 7 of clubs! And just like that, we lose Brian Hastings in third place. Great run here at the Seminole Hard Rock. It does come to a close, a little short of a title.
Stunning last card. Brian Hastings out of here. He'll take home $336,000. The local has to say goodnight. Let's see what he has to say.
The whole time it was kind of anybody's game, so no regrets. Definitely stings missing out, but I'll be back.
And he's not going to like it. He is as a queen 6 says
3.2.
Scott decides it's 3.2 million.
he'd love to get this call and absolutely. And he is just going to 2 cards away.
This is going to be a first-time WP.
Gotta be something wrong with me. No, obviously.
Scott 5 cards away from this championship for us. What's the double up? What's going to happen?
Now, one of these guys is going to be a first-time WPT champion, and 2 pair on the flop for Scott.
Unbelievable.
Faraz now drawing to a 10, running clubs or running 2 pair. Otherwise, Scott is your champion in his first ever WPT cash.
2 cards away from the championship, and it's going to work out there. 7 of hearts.
Okay, now only a 10 would rob Scott of this pot and his first live title.
That's right, the 4 outer.
It's an ace! And that's not going to do it for Faraz. He'll make top pair, but Scott's 2 pair are going to hold up, and he is your champion at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown.
You know, super happy.
We did play the tournament.